how would you evaluate the nursing home um, group of facilities, that industry, so to speak? How would you evaluate them on a scale of looking at? I'm not talking about winning a case here and there. I'm just talking about how do you evaluate the nursing home quality performance?
Well, generally, there are some facilities that do a good job. Without obviously naming names, but there are more that don't. So in general, like I said earlier, I think the motives for a lot of these nursing home owners, particularly people who are backed by private equity, is a return on investment, like any other business. But they're not selling widgets or manufacturing cars. They're taking care of elderly residents with complicated medical histories who need care. And if they're not devoted to that type of practice, it's really in the form of a public trust, John, because we're entrusting our loved ones who cannot advocate for themselves. So you have a nursing home resident with dementia who can't speak as well as you or I can speak and can't communicate what's bothering them or where they have pain. And that continues to go on. And I unfortunately don't see any improvement in that area.
It's a bit troubling hearing your response, and I have no doubt that that's reflective of the situation, because it didn't sound like the majority of nursing homes are doing a reasonably good job. There are a few over here that generally don't. It sounded, as a matter of fact, kind of the opposite. There are some that do good service, but by and large, I kind of got a sense that a majority, or whatever it is, we're not talking 50 or 51%, but a majority seem to be less efficient than you're comfortable with.
Yeah, and obviously, we get phone calls from clients and certainly from other lawyers who refer us these cases. So we're always seeing the bad results. I don't get a phone call if there's a good result, you don't need me. You're not going to call me in that situation. Overall, I can tell you that there are nursing homes that we never see in our cases. So I'm presuming that they're doing a pretty good job because I haven't had a case against them. And then there are the nursing homes I see repeatedly that I have, several cases against, and over the course of years continue to get cases against. So that's sort of how I draw my conclusions.
It's distressing because the importance and significance of nursing homes and the desire and ability and requirement for people to be directed to nursing homes, it seems to me, is increasing significantly. And so when you talk about questioning the quality of the overall service, it's very concerning.
It is concerning, and fortunately, there are resources out there for families who need help with, if they have a loved one who's going to be going into a nursing home. To give you another example, if you fall at home, you're a relatively healthy person, maybe you're in your 80s and you're doing okay, and unfortunately you fall, you break your hip, you have to go to the hospital and have surgery. You're going to have to go to get rehabilitation after the hospital, and that's going to be in a nursing home. They refer to it as a skilled nursing facility, but that's what it's going to be. And unfortunately, I'm seeing in a lot of these cases, people who were doing okay, doing fairly well, cooking for themselves, dressing themselves, being able to do all of their activities of daily living with no help or minimal help. And then after a stint in the hospital and the nursing home, because they don't get the care and they don't get the rehab that they need, end up going downhill. And that's really one of the most distressing parts for me, is seeing somebody who really should have had a good outcome not have one, really due to the fact that the nursing home is not putting the resources back into the facility that they should.
Since, as we've said, there are so many people and the volume of needed people for nursing homes is escalating, to have a person with the kind of experience, the longevity of experience, and the focused attention on the nursing home liability, nursing home issues generally, and the clients that are in there. We're very lucky that we have have a John Dalli, and I don't say that lightly.
Thank you, John.
To be impressed as I have been by your explanation of the liability involved here. And I can tell you, I thank you very, very much for taking the time to do this.
My pleasure, John. Always great to see you.
Thank you likewise, John.